Hey everybody, welcome. Come in and join me. Today is day 6 of my day 7 days of lives. It is a Monday, so of course everything and anything is not working right today. So I am running a little bit late, about 5 minutes. So bear with me while I pull up the live here so I can see comments. And we will get started. Come on in, say hi, join me. I really appreciate you being here today. All right, there's our live. Look at that, came right up. Make sure my sound is off. Hello, hello, come in and say hi. I really appreciate y'all being with me and watching through this week. Like I said, today is day 6 of 7. And I'm just sharing that really quick. So, all right, so we're going to get started. Let me show you what we're doing here. I am using, hello, welcome from California. How are you doing out there? I'm using this sign here that I got from Personally Yours. It's a nice little welcome sign with the plaid pattern, and it's got these little daisies down here. So I think those are daisies. I don't know. They look like daisies. I don't know flowers, so. I have my work frame that I've done. I've got 18 ties on here. This is a 14-inch frame from the Dollar Tree. I've got 10 ties on the bottom, 8 ties on the top. I spaced mine out between 4 and 4.5 inches a piece. We're going to use this black check mesh. I've cut it in 36 inches, and we're going to do the Woodland Ruffle. And I'll show you that in just a second. And then I've got a bow here that I made for it as well. We will be adding that, and we will add some little flowers that match our sign. So let me put my camera down and get started here. So, oh, I forgot to show you the ribbons. Let me show you those really quick. I have a solid white with a black edge. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I appreciate it. I have this black, I call it stitches pattern. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like a plaid. Then we have the black and white plaid that we're going to put on there that matches our sign. And then I'm going to throw in some black and white polka dots just to break up all that plaid. So we'll use those, and then I'm going to add some black flex tubing that has, it looks like it's silver, but we're going to use it anyway. It's a nice day in upstate New York. Yeah, it's a nice day here too. It's kind of windy though. I had to go out really quick and get some groceries and come back home, and that's one of the reasons I'm running behind, because I had to get everything ready. All right, so I'm going to put my camera down. I apologize. I cannot move my camera into landscape mode. For whatever reason, my phone and Facebook are not working well this week together. So I have to leave it in the portrait mode. I'm hoping that we can get this fixed soon, but so far we've not been able to get it fixed. So I apologize. I will try to keep everything within frame for you. If for whatever reason you can't see something, let me know, and I will try to pay attention to the comments and make sure to get that in frame for you. So let me move my camera up so you can see my work surface here. We'll go this way. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover the camera. All right, so there's my frame. Like I said, I have 18 ties on there, and I'm going to move my mesh holder because I don't need that for this. And it's just going to be in the way. So the black and white check mesh came from Sims Pottery, but they do have it at the Wreath shop. I looked on there because I need to order more. So they do have it on the Wreath shop. You know what? I think I'm going to move this over here. So how are you guys doing today? Hey, Kathy. How are you? Kathy is my sister, y'all. You need to go on my page and take a look at the video I put up of her. She was interviewed by the news for all the masks that she's making. Hey, Sue Merrick, how are you, honey? So I'm using a wooden dowel to help me make my curls because I have problems with my hands. And I'm going to curl them about 4 or 5 times on each end. Then I'm going to clip it. And flip it. And I'm just using a little rock. Get it at the dollar store as a paperweight or a mesh weight. And then we're going to ruffle right up the center. And that is a woodland ruffle. Some people call it the cruffle, but it is actually called a woodland ruffle. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. Now, you can put your mesh in either face with the curls facing up or facing down, depending on what you want to see more of. If you want to see more of the curls, put it facing up. If you want to see more ruffle, put it face down. It's totally up to you. It's just a matter of preference. I want to see more of the curls on top, which is where I start. So on top, I'm going to put my curls up. On the bottom, I will put them down. And there's no rhyme or reason for it. I just like the look of it that way. So when we get all these on here, these will stand up nice and pretty, and you will see those curls with the ruffle edge. Okay? So how's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing good and staying inside and staying safe. I had to go out to the grocery store. I haven't been out all week, so I went out and grabbed a couple of things that we needed. But other than that, I've been in the house. I actually drove through the car wash just for a little entertainment, because I don't have to interact with anybody there. That's what life has come to, driving through a car wash for entertainment, right? Actually, I needed it. My car was really dirty because I haven't been anywhere, and we've had really bad pollen here, so it needed a wash. So now that I've done that, it'll probably rain this afternoon or tonight. It's already afternoon here, so. The mesh is cut at 36 inches. And this mesh came from Sims Pottery, but they do have it at the Wreath shop because I just looked last night because I want to order more. So let me check comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. I apologize if I'm not seeing anybody's comment or welcoming you. I welcome everyone. If you wouldn't mind sharing the love for me, I would really appreciate that. Let your friends know we're here. Maybe they want to kill some time and come and watch. So that's what I've been doing all week, is we've been doing 7 days of lives marathon. This is the first time I've done one on my page. And so far it's been fun. A little exhausting. I don't know how people do it for more than 7 days. I see some people who do it for 30 days, and I'm thinking, oh Lord, I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I have enough projects to do that. It'd be a wreath after a wreath after a wreath. This is a just a deco mesh, check mesh. It's called, hang on, I'll give you the number for it. It is called just Poly Deco, or Deco Poly, and it is RE, R as in Robert, E as in Edward, 1367E as in Edward 7, and it's at the Wreath shop. Trying to And make sure I stay within my camera range here. So I was trying to upload a video that I made yesterday for my YouTube channel. Because I recorded it on my phone and not on like a live, it was harder for me, I don't know why, to download it. I guess because it was such a big file. But I finally figured out a way to do it, and I got it onto my YouTube channel, but now I have to go in and edit. So I was working on that and kind of lost track of time because I've been trying to do this video since yesterday afternoon. It's very frustrating when you can't get your electronics to cooperate. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. My name is Dawn and this is Wreath Decor by Dawn. If you're new to my page, please come in and say hello and tell us where you're from. I do my regular lives on Wednesday evenings at 8 o'clock Eastern. But this week we are doing 7 days of lives. Today is day 6. So tomorrow I will be doing the Patriotic truck that everyone wanted to see me do at the beginning of the week. So I will show you that towards the end of my live so you can see what that looks like. Hello, Colorado and Texas. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you'd like to follow along with us, give my page a like and a follow. And you can catch day 7 tomorrow. And then my regular live on Wednesday. I also have a YouTube channel where I put all my videos. If you'd like to subscribe to that, it's Wreath Decor by Dawn. And again, this mesh is a 10-inch mesh, check mesh, black and white check mesh. I got it from, mine from the Sims Pottery, but they also have it at the Wreath shop. Because I did check last night. And I cut it at 36 inches and we are doing the Woodland Ruffle. And I use this dowel because I have problems with my hands. And it just helps a little bit. I wish I could invent something to help make the ruffles. Whoops, I gotta clip that. Because that's the part that really makes my hands hurt, but whatever I can do to ease the pain a little bit. So I hope you are all doing well and staying indoors and staying safe. Hopefully this will all be over very soon and we can try to get back to a somewhat normal life. Right? Thank you for blessing my page. I appreciate that so much. Welcome from Florida. Did I see Alabama as well? Thank you. I'm rolling it about 4 or 5 times. I'm really not counting them. But typically you want to do about 4 or 5 to get a nice little curl. And these are all going to stand up really nice once we start getting all the rest of them in here. And on the bottom, or on what I'm doing on the top, is I like the curls to be face up on the top, and then on the bottom I put them face down. There's really no reason, I just like it that way. And everything is a matter of preference. Whatever you like, that's what you do. There is no right or wrong way to do it. I don't care what anybody tells you. There is no wrong way. So did any of you get to see the marathon over the weekend that was on Hardworking Mom's page? I know there was a couple of marathons, but we did one over on her page, those of us in her business group. I have 18 ties. There is 10 on the bottom and 8 on the top. Yeah, 4 to 5. I don't really count them, I just kind of roll them. So I was up on Saturday night and did a Patriotic Grapevine wreath. So we had a lot of fun doing that. There were so many different designs that everyone did. They all did such a great job. Everything looked so pretty, and there were so many tips and tricks that people, it's fun to see a bunch of, you know, when you see other people doing it, you learn different tips and tricks that they use. So that was kind of fun too. This is a really good quality mesh too, really thick. And of course with doing the Woodland Ruffle, you don't have too much fray with it. Most of your edges or your ends are curled in, so that eliminates some of that fray. Of course, you know, the less you handle the mesh, the better. But all mesh is going to fray, no matter what you do or how you cut it. There's ways you can minimize it, but it's still going to fray. It's mesh. Alright, so that's the top. Got all of those in there. So now we're going to do the bottom, and I'm going to flip them over when I do the bottom. So you'll see more ruffles than you will curls. And there's really, like I said, no reason for it. It's just what I like. Make sure I'm not missing any of your comments. So this is day 6 of 7 days of lives here on my page. So the first day we did a patriotic tobacco basket. The second day we did a dog wreath. The third day we did a summer wreath. You Are My Sunshine. That came out pretty colorful and pretty. And then yesterday, I'm getting my days all mixed up here. What did we do yesterday? Nope, sorry. Sunday or Saturday we did a beach wreath. And then yesterday we did a bee wreath. And all those videos are still up on my Facebook page, so you can go back and watch any of them if you didn't see them. And I'll also be putting them up on my YouTube channel, hopefully tonight. The dowel is, no, you're fine. You ask as many questions as you want, hon. The dowel is 3/4 of an inch. And I'll show you at the end what I use this for my my bows. But this one's a 3/4 inch. And I just got that at the craft store. I think Walmart, you can get them at Walmart. Over in the craft section, they have some dowels cut in different sizes. And I think I picked this one up there. But you could also check like the home improvement store and see if they have any cut pieces that they're just scraps laying around. Sometimes they'll give it to you. Hey Kelly, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I haven't seen you in a while. Hello. There are 18 pieces of mesh. They're cut at 36 inches. And it's a 10-inch mesh. I do go back and answer questions after my live in the comments. So even if you've asked and I've answered, I'll still go back and answer it again, just because I don't remember what I answer and what I don't. The number for the mesh, okay. This is a poly mesh, and it's R as in Robert, E as in Edward, 1367, E as in Edward, 7. And the Wreath Shop does have this in stock right now. At least they did last night, because I looked. What else did I miss? Anything? Well, thank you. I'm glad to see you again, too. Even though I can't see you, you're here. I know you are. The mesh, yeah. Well, mine I got from Sims Pottery, but they do have the same exact mesh at the Wreath Shop, because I looked. Oh, you had bronchitis and pneumonia. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're feeling better, though. We're doing good here. I have to keep touching the screen in order to see comments because they don't stay up. That's why you keep seeing me reach across the screen like that. Like I said, me and electronics just don't get along. Nothing works for me right now. I ordered a new computer so that I could... Well, one, I had to upgrade my computer because I have a really old computer right now, and it's slower than molasses. That's putting it politely. But because of this virus stuff, it wasn't something they had already, readily in stock. It has to be built, so I have to wait to get it. And then I can hopefully use my webcam with that and eliminate some of these issues that I keep having. Sorry, my hands keep going numb, so it's hard to get a hold of these things at the moment. You're very welcome. Hello, Shirley. How are you? I can't thank you all enough for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I was really worried when I decided to do these 7 days of lives that people would get sick of seeing me. But it's nice. It kind of breaks up the day, you know? And it makes it go by a little faster because I'm having to prepare and get everything ready and then do the live. And so by the time I get everything done, the day pretty much is over and on to the next one. The only thing about this mesh is that it's so thick and such a good quality that the edges can be a little sharp sometimes. And they want to stick together, and sometimes you can cut your finger with them. Not bad, it's not bad. They just like to snag. But I love the mesh. I wish they had it in all different colors, and you see it in some. I have it in black. They have it in blue, and I think I've seen it in red. But it's one of my favorites. Oh no, you didn't miss me. No, actually I started a few minutes late, so you're going to be doing a live Oh, you are going to do Lori's thing this weekend? Good. I did it on Saturday. So I'll be watching that this weekend. I know she's doing a couple today, too. I'm not sure about what time it starts, but I know that Robin is going on at, I think, 7. 6:45, something like that. So she's doing a couple today for those who can't do it on the weekend. And then she's going to do it again on Friday and Saturday. So, yeah, we had a really good time this past weekend doing it. It was lots of fun. Got to see so many different things and picked up a couple of tricks and tips. Hey, Ann. Sorry, I gotta give my hand a rest for a second. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Oh, Kelly, I am so sorry you've been down and sick. It is just not a good time for any of that right now. I guess it's, you know, if you're going to be sick, you might as well do it while you're home, but still. I'm glad it wasn't this virus. I hope that came out right. I didn't mean for it to sound like... It's not good to have the virus either, of course, but... What are y'all making for dinner tonight? I'm hungry. That's what I want to know. That's what I want to talk about. What are we making for dinner tonight? Anything good? Now that we're all home and actually doing cooking, right? I have my group tonight, so I have to make dinner as soon as I get done here so that I can be on there at 8 o'clock. So I have a design group. Oh, we're having pork chops too. Hello, leftovers. Oh, what kind of leftovers? Stuffed peppers. That sounds good too. Meatloaf. That's my mom's favorite. I always have to make it a little bit bigger because she wants leftover meatloaf for sandwiches the next day. So I always have to make a big meatloaf so that she can have a day or two's worth of sandwiches left over afterwards. But yeah, since I went to the store today, I was able to get pork chops. Oh, that's messy. So I got those. Can't find a lot of ground beef right now, but they did have pork chops and chicken, which my husband doesn't care for chicken all that well. He'll eat it, he just does, it's not his favorite. Chick-fil-A delivery, oh, I'm so jealous. We can't get it here. It's too far from us. And we don't have one close to us. The only one is in the... It's about, I guess 20 miles from us. Nobody will deliver it to us. Oh, you love how I do the curls? Yeah. I have to use something to make the curls because I have carpal tunnel really bad. Yeah, I wish we could get more delivery here. We can get pizza delivered. Ooh, cabbage and sausage. Oh, I'll take the sausage, but you can keep the cabbage. I know, everybody's tired of cooking right now. Brussels sprouts, nope. I'll take the pork chops. You can have Brussels sprouts. No tuna either. Oh, those all sound good though. Yeah, it really helps with my hands because I have really bad carpal tunnel, and especially in my right hand, and you know, whatever I can do to eliminate it. The ruffles is actually the harder part, but this helps too. A friend of mine told me to do this and see if it would help, and it doesn't take me any more time, so it definitely helps. Gives my hands a little rest after doing those ruffles. So I was doing the therapy and that so that we could hopefully get my surgery, but when the virus hit, that all came to a halt. So now I have to wait, and I don't know if they're going to make me do it all over again, or they're just going to go ahead and do the reevaluation, which is what they were supposed to do next, so that they could send me for more tests. Which we all know, in the end, it's going to be the surgery that I need. It's just getting to that point. You know how insurance companies can be. The dowel is a 3/4 inch dowel. And I got it, I believe, at Walmart in the craft section. Hi, Ty. How are you? The mesh is cut at 36 inches. Oh, that sounds good, Teresa. Meat market. I don't know if we even have one like that around here. Okay, we've got 2 more pieces to go. I have 18 ties on my frame. It's a 14-inch frame from the Dollar Tree. And I do 18 ties, 8 on top, 10 on bottom. And I space my ties out between 4 and 4.5 inches. I kind of alternate between the two. And I do have a video on my YouTube on how I put my frame together if anyone's interested in seeing it. It's a real quick 7-minute video that just shows you how I put my frame together. Put the ties on it. And I'm getting ready to upload one on how I box up my wreaths to ship them. I recorded it yesterday, and that's what I've been working on, trying to get uploaded. So hopefully I'll have that done tonight. And I just go through the whole process of putting my box together and putting my wreath in it. I had a wreath that was going out yesterday, so I thought, why not just record it? So I did, because that is probably the #1 question I get after my lives. Hello, Connie. You're very welcome. I love this mesh too. It's really nice. It is a very good quality mesh, that is for sure. And if you shop at Sims, that's where I got mine. But if you don't have a wholesale license, then you can get it from the Wreath shop. They also have it in stock. And it's a black and white check mesh 10-inch. This is our last one. And then we can start on our ribbons. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. It is so hard to do when your fingers go numb. It's not easy at all. That's probably another reason I don't think I could do this longer than 7 days. I'd have to take a break in between and then do, you know, another 7 or something after, you know, take a couple days off and then do another 7. All right, so I'm going to pull all my curls up here in the center. There we go. So there is our frame. I hope you can see that. It's beautiful mesh. There we go. So now we're going to put our ribbon tails on. And if you joined me after I started, this is the sign I'm using. So it's got the black and white plaid edging on it. And then it's got the little flowers down here, and I've got some of those that we're going to put on as well that match. The sign came from Personally Yours. Yeah, the Wreath Shop does have it. I looked last night. If you do 36 inches, Ernestine, it will take 2 rolls. Thank you. All right, so here's the ribbons we're going to use. I don't have a whole lot of black and white, so I got to use what I have. I've got this black and white 1.5 inch with the stitches on it. That's what I call it, stitches. I don't know what they call it. I have this white. This is also a 1.5 with the black edging. We've got the black and white plaid. This is a 2.5. And then just to throw in some fun, we got some black polka dots on some white. So that I'm going to put with the black stitches, and the plaid will go with the white. My ribbons are cut at 14 inches, and you could cut them whatever length you prefer. That's just what I like. This black and white ribbon is kind of a thin. I wish I had a thicker one to use, but unfortunately I don't. And I just give that a little lift on the thing there to make it look like a little bird. And then we're going to put it in here and give it a couple twists. And then we're going to give it a lift again. And I don't open my ties up and put this in. I just go from where I, open them back up. I don't do that. I just go right from where we're at. Put it right on top. If I had to sit here and reopen every tie just to put it on, then it would we'd be here a while. That's too much for my hands, so. It is very full. It makes for a very nice thick wreath. Hi Nora, how are you? The sign is a 8 by 10. Let me look. Hang on. I don't think it's an 8. I think it's a 6. Hang on. Yeah, it's a 6 by 10. I'm sorry. And I got it from Personally Yours. I get a lot of signs from her. I love her signs. She also has a brand new website, PLY, P as in Paul, L as in Lucy, Y as in your. I know those are not the actual the proper words to use, but you know what I mean. Anyway, it's PLY wreathsigns.com. With my husband being military, I should know the call letters. He was in the military for 24 years, so I heard them plenty. Hi, Christina. Hi, Antoinette. Oh, this wire is poking out of the end here and stabbing my finger. So these are going to go really pretty with that sign. And if you look on her website at some of her signs and scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a couple of my wreaths up there that she put up with her signs on them. That was sweet, I thought. It was very nice of her to showcase them. She did mine and a couple others. And I am going to put flex tubing on here, so I'm not cutting my ties down just yet. But normally I will go back and cut them off. If I were using like tinsel ties or something, I wouldn't necessarily cut them down, depending on how long they are. I did the Woodland Ruffle. I cut my mesh at 36 inches. Rolled it at each end about 4 or 5 times, and ruffled it up the center and put one in each tie. And you could do it at whatever length that you want. You could do a Woodland Ruffle with 30-inch if you wanted to save some mesh. Heck, you could probably even do it with like 25. It's just a matter of how full you want it. Because of course the longer it is, the fuller it'll be. And my wreaths fit nicely in a 22 by 22 by 8 box, even with the bow and attachments. I have gotten lots of compliments on the packaging and that of the wreaths, so nobody has had any issues with anything being smashed or misshaped or anything like that. So, and I don't use anything bigger than a 22 by 22 by 8 anyway, because postage is already high enough. You go any bigger than that and it's gonna pretty much double. So thank you all so much for joining me today. It's not a metallic mesh, no. It's just a poly mesh, but it's very good quality. And the Wreath shop has it in stock. And it's not very expensive either, compared to some of your other mesh. One more to go on the top. But it is a very nice quality mesh. Which some of them can be a little thin and flimsy, but this one is not. And this black and white check is really popular too. These make really nice pet wreaths when you use the black and white like this. Okay, now I'm going to do the bottom, and I'm going to just go right below where I just put that one in, and I'm going to put the opposite ribbon in that one and start from there. I hope y'all can still see. If I'm moving out of range here, let me know. Trying to keep it within eyesight. But yeah, if anyone's interested in seeing how I put my wreath frames together and the ties on them, like I said, I do have a video on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and it's Wreath Decor by Dawn, same as over here. And while you're there, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. All my videos are over there. Every video since I started doing lives is on YouTube. I put all of my videos over there. And if you're new to my page, please give it a like and follow. And come and join us on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. We do my regular live. I always say we. Who's we? I don't have any elves working for me. It's just me. But you know what I mean. But I do my regular live over there on Wednesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern. And we would love for you to join us. Oops, why did I do that? That's two of them together. We have a good time. We do a little virtual drinking. We do some chit chat. Have some laughs. Kill some time. Got plenty of that these days. Look at there. There's our bartender. That is my daughter. She is our virtual bartender on Wednesday nights on my regular live. I'm going to do a little day drinking today. You know what was funny? When I was at the store today, I was getting a bottle of wine for my mom. And I was over in that, you know, the alcohol section there. And there were these young kids. They weren't young. They had to be of drinking age because they were buying alcohol, right? At least I hope so. But anyway, you know what I noticed that they were buying? They were walking around with ping pong balls. So guess what they're doing today? I guess they're not in school or work, so they're playing beer pong. But they had the cups and the little ping pong balls in all different colors, and then they were getting their beer. I just thought that was really funny. For the majority, Marion, yes, I do. I do my own wreath frames. It's just a preference for me. I have used the regular work forms, but I prefer to do my own. And it's just because when I first started, that's how I did it, because there was a shortage on work forms at the time. So I learned how to make my own from watching another woman, and I've just kind of stuck with it. And it's a lot cheaper than buying work forms. But I do use them if I have them. Or if I find them on sale, I will buy them. I don't buy the ones from like Hobby Lobby and Michael's because theirs have different numbers of ties on them. And I think they do like odd numbers or something on theirs. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, I mean, I do use them. I have a couple in my cupboard, but I don't, typically I just make my own. And I have a video on how I put them together, like I said, on my YouTube channel. It's not hard to do at all, and it saves some money. The only thing I will tell you is when you buy them from the Dollar Tree, two things. I know a lot of people order them. You can buy them by the case, and that's good. But here's the problem I had with doing that. I ordered a case of them and had them shipped to my home, and half of them were broken. Where the welds are, half of them were broken. They will not let you take them back to the store if you have them shipped to your house. Only if you have them shipped to the store. And I was not going to send them back to them because they weren't going to pay the shipping. So after, you know, a little while, I did get my money back from them. I did it again. For those frames. But now I go to the store and I check each and every frame before I buy it. I just run my hand along it. And I show that in my video as well too. I talk about that on there. But I just run my hand around the frame to make sure that all the welds are still attached. But if you do find the broken ones, keep them because you can use them for rails. And I kept mine because they didn't want them back. They just said throw them away. So we figured out we could use them for rails, and that's what I do. Cut them up and use them. But that was a hassle because I have a dollar store like literally right next to my neighborhood, and I could not get them exchanged. And they weren't going to send me out new ones. They just didn't want to bother with it after that. They just went ahead and gave me my money back for those broken ones, which I'm thankful for, but I don't do that anymore. Now I just go and buy them myself because I can check them. So anyway, the moral of the story is, if you're going to buy them by the case, have them sent to the store. That way they'll take them back if there's something wrong with them. That's my tip for the day. That and my dowel. It is. You know, it's just frustrating when you buy a case of them and you go to use them up, and then you find out that when, you know, you get down to that, because it was like all the lower half of the box is what was broken. So it's like they, you know, I'm not saying somebody did that. I'm just saying it's like they stuck all the broken ones at the bottom, and I used up the ones on top. And thankfully, you know, I used them up quick enough that it's not like I had to wait months before I found out they were broken. But, because, you know, I go through a lot of frames. But, I happen to be taking them out because I take them out of the box and then I hang them up. And that's when I started going through them, the bottom ones, and saw that they were broken. Then, oh, I got to check the rest of them, you know. So, yeah. But like I said, you can keep them and cut them into, you know, cut them in half, like moon shape. And you can use those and attach them. And someday I will do a video and show you how I do it. Because I take a, you know, if you find like a big wooden sign that you want to make into a rail, you can. And you can use those frames to do it with. And they come out really nice. If you saw the bunnies that I did on my page, I didn't do a video on them. But I made some bunny rails with the broken frames. So I just drilled holes in the wood because there were wooden bunnies, and attached the frame with zip ties, and they came out really pretty, really nice. So I'll have to do, I have a truck sign, a Patriotic truck sign that I was thinking of doing that. So I think maybe when I do that, maybe I'll do it on a video and show how to do it. How to make those into a rail. All right, so there is all of our ribbons. Now I'm gonna put my flex tubing on there. And unfortunately, I did not cut that ahead of time. So I'm going to pull this out. I use these 2-gallon zip bags, hefty bags from, you can get them at Walmart to keep my tubing in. They hold a lot, and you can, kind of like those air bags, you can let all the air out. And zip it. And then it like seals it. And this tubing came from Carolina Pottery. I love tubing. Don't know what it is about tubing, but I really like using it in my wreaths. Let me see if I'm missing any of y'all's comments. What length did I cut my ribbon? 14 inches. You hooked up my video to your TV? Oh Lord, nobody wants to see me that big. I'm cutting these the size of my mat. My mat is 24 inches. I'm not being exact. I'm just, and you don't want to pull tubing when you're measuring it because it stretches and you'll have a whole mess of them all different lengths if you do that. So don't do that. And if you ever have a kink in your tubing, like right here where it folds, all you have to do is squeeze it together like an accordion, and it takes that kink out of it. Just do it a couple of times, and it'll take that kink out of there. So y'all are getting just all kinds of tips today, huh? Do y'all use tubing? I haven't used it this week at all. I'm surprised. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's the 8 on top. This is the first time I've used it this week. I'm really surprised because I usually use it a lot more than that. 9. I know it's not exciting sitting here watching me do this. I usually have it done beforehand. But because I was running late, I didn't do it. I'm lucky I got my bow done. Because we definitely don't want to sit here and watch me do a bow, because that will take me all night. I just take a really long time. Yeah, I've tied it into a bow before. I'm not on this one. Tubing is fun. If you know what, if you ever look at a wreath that you've done and you don't know what it needs, but you think it needs something, add tubing. I guarantee you it will make you feel better about what you're working on. I don't know what it is about it, but I've told that to a few people and they say, you know what, that works. If you don't know what it needs, add some tubing. That's usually it. It's usually enough to go, ah, okay, yeah, that works. All right, so I don't know how many I've cut because I've stopped counting because I'm yapping, but. All right, so I cut them at 24 inches. I'm gonna fold them in half, fold it in half again, and it gives me a little bow tie. And we're just gonna stick that right into the tie. Give it a couple twists. Couple extra twists because that's all I'm adding in here. And I'm going to cut this down and then I fold my tie over. Yeah, I use the Easy Bow Maker too, but I just, you know, I'm very particular with my bows right now because I'm still, you know, working on them. I mean, everyone says that they look nice, but for me, when I'm working on them, it's like, okay, I don't like this, and I redo bows a lot. But that's just something, you know, that's me. I'll eventually get over that. I set goals for myself every year. My first year that I was in business, my goal was to go live, and I did that with some prodding and poking and probably a few threats. My grandson got me to do that, although he would have preferred me to do it on YouTube and not on Facebook. And I did that, and then last year my goal was to work on bows because I was so intimidated by bows and what, you know, others were going to criticize them or think of them, I guess you would say, not criticize. Critique. That's the word I was looking for, critique. So I didn't make a lot of bows. And then last year, that was my goal, was to make more bows, and I think almost every wreath I made last year had a bow on it. So I've made them once or twice on a live, but I still don't make them live yet. But hey, at least I'm making the bows. That's the way I look at it. This year, my goal is to be more interactive on lives, because I'm one of those people who watches a lot of lives, but I don't interact. I don't talk much unless it's somebody I know, you know. So that's my goal this year, is to be more interactive, and I'm really quiet on our groups and stuff that I'm in. So, and I'm not a shy person. I just, if I don't have anything to say, I don't say anything, you know? I'm that kind of person. But I'm not shy by any means. Shy is not a word you would use to describe me at all. But I'm reserved. That's the word I use. Hey, Susan. There's my buddy. So my goal this year is to be more reserved, or to be less reserved, not more. I don't think I could get any more. My family always says I'm like my dad. My dad did not, you know, if he didn't have anything to say, he didn't talk. He wasn't a yapper, you know. He was very quiet and observed. That's me. I observe. My dad was very outgoing, but he just, you know, he wasn't the type to sit around and gab just for the sake of gabbing, you know. I mean, I can go all day without talking to anybody. Thank you. I'm checking the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I just had to get out of that idea that everybody was going to be critiquing everything I did, and not worry so much about what other people would think and what I thought was more important, kind of thing. And I think once I speed up my process of doing it, you do learn more by listening. That is absolutely correct. My dad used to say that too. You would be amazed at what you learn by listening. Definitely. And I do learn a lot. You sometimes hear things that other people are not listening for or hearing. But yeah, that's me, definitely. But I'm trying, to get better at it. I'm in a few private groups, business groups, and I'm trying to be more interactive with those and not just sit back and let everyone else do the talking. But so I'm trying to do that. But I still am working on it with lives. When I watch other people's lives, unless it's a friend of mine. I'm usually not very talkative on lives. Like, for instance, I watched Katie from Crazy Maisie. I don't comment on her lives usually. I just watch, kind of thing. So I'm trying to get away from that. And I'm just using her as an example. It's not that I don't have, don't want to talk to him. I just don't do it. So that's my goal this year, and I'm working on that. So those are me goals. The rest of them are like business goals and things like that. Yeah, I'm just, I mean, I watch you too, Kelly, and I mean, you wouldn't hardly ever know it unless you see my name pop up there. If you're friends with somebody, you can see their name pop up and they're there, but I just sometimes, I'll try to say hi, and then the rest of the time I just watch. And I do watch a lot of lives, especially in the evening. I think part of what helped me come out of that with the groups and that is that we have our own group too. I have a group with Susan, who's on here, Susan Skelton with AC Inspired Wreaths, and Carla from the One Stop Boutique. And we all met in Lori Jacobs' business class course, and then we formed our own group, last year design group, and so we've been working on that, and it's nice to have someone else to do it with, because they're people, you know, our members are not relying just on me, and they get a variety, and I think you learn more with more people like that. Of course, they probably have more experience than I do. When they, you know, I was first approached to do the group, I was like, I don't know what I have to offer to this. That was just my mindset. That's it. You sit in the rafters and watch. I like that. That's what I'm going to use that. I like that a lot. Can I steal that from you and use it? Oh, thank you, Susan. You're sweet. So she's up tonight in our group, design group. But anyway, it was called the Team of Dreams design group that we have, the three of us. And it's $14.99 a month. And we do 2 design classes a week. And we alternate. So like this week, Susan's up tonight. And Friday, I'm up. And then next week, Carla's up. So we rotate it like that. And we also do it on Zoom, which is video conferencing. So you don't have to, like this, where you have to type out your questions. You don't have to do that. You can talk to us, see us. We can see you and talk to you. So, and that's helped me quite a bit with trying to be more interactive in that too. And I've done my bows for them. But then they're special, so. I was going to say, I don't know if that was one I cut or one that was an extra piece. Alright, so it looks like I only need to cut one more. Not bad for not counting. I'm surprised I didn't end up with 3 or 4 extra cut. We have, how many do we have? We have, there is 3, 5, 8 of us in the group. It's very intimate. We get a lot, cover a lot of ground in there, that's for sure. And you get 3 different designers who all have different ideas, tips, tricks, techniques. So you're not just learning from one, you're learning from all 3 of us. And we share with you where we get our supplies. We share discounts with you. We have a really good time. And I'm glad I did it. I was very skeptical in the beginning to do it, because having a group requires a lot of time. And that worried me with doing my own, but with doing it with somebody else, especially 2 other people, you know, that takes some of the stress off of you, you know. I only have to worry about every 3rd class what I'm going to do, not every class. Alright, so we're done with tubing. Whoops. Knocking stuff over here. $14.99 a month to join. And I can put the link in here, unless Susan can do it for me. I don't know if I can pull it up right now. Let me try. Gives my hands a little bit of a break for a second here. Whoops, I went to the wrong group. There we go. All right, there's the link for the group. If anyone's interested in checking it out. That's okay, I got it. I got it, Susan. All right, so I'm taking the sign out. I didn't get my holes in here beforehand, so you get to see me put the holes in it. So this is a metal sign. Again, the sign came from Personally Yours. She has a website. I have all the links saved in my notes on my phone, so I just have to pull them up from there. So I just had to go out of the comments and then pull it up. All right, so this is called the Beadsmith. You can get this in the jewelry section of the store, or you can get it on Amazon. It's a little metal hole punch. That's all it is. It's called the Beadsmith. B-E-A-D Smith. And I'm just going to poke a little hole right in each corner. Don't get too close to the edge. Also at the top of my business or my Facebook page here, if you're interested in getting email alerts when I go live, you can sign up for that. It is the very first post on my page. It's the pinned post that you can, it'll give you a link to sign up to get emails from me weekly when I go live. And I don't use it for spam or anything like that. All I do is send you one email a week saying, hey, I'm going live, 8 o'clock, come join me. I send it out usually about 6 o'clock, 6:30 on Wednesday. And that's it. I also have a link to my supply list. If you're interested in like something like this, I have a link to this on Amazon that you can purchase that. So either one of those, you'll find the link for in that pinned post on my page. All right, so I've cut 4 pieces of wire. This is 26 gauge silver floral wire. Silver wire hides the best on a wreath. I'm gonna put it through the holes that I just put in here. And I'm gonna give it a little twist 2 or 3 times. So if you just joined me or joined after I started, I am doing 7 days of lives. Today is day 6. So we've got one more day to go, and then I will be doing my regular live on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You can also, oh, that one didn't go all the way through. You can also hit the little, or hit the screen and hit those 3 little dots and turn your notifications on. And that'll also put it in your news feed when I go, or in your notifications when I go live. And like I said, we have a lot of fun on Wednesday evenings. We call it, well, I call it Wreath Wednesday. We have our virtual drinking that we do. And we have everything from a glass of milk to a good, hard, stiff drink, right? Right, Susan? We have fun. That's what it's all about. And right now, that's what we all need. Some fun. All right, so let me get all that fibers and stuff off of there. I swear the sign looks blue. Oh, I don't know. It better not be blue because I thought it was black. I'll have to ask Lee. All right, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put my bow that I made right down here. And then I've got those flowers that we're going to add in as well, which will only take a second. I need to turn that glue gun on, though. All right. Get this stuff out of the way. It is 5 o'clock somewhere. Always, and on my page, it is definitely 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm not a big drinker in real life, but on my lives, I can drink all I want. because it's virtual, right? And there's no drinking and driving, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, so I'm going to take my needle. Let me show you that. This here is a metal 5-inch needle. It's called a yarn needle. I got it in the yarn section of the store, either craft store or Walmart. They also come in plastic. Here's the plastic ones. And they also call them weaving needles, but I call it a yarn needle. And that helps me, if you struggle with getting your wires through your mesh, get one of these needles, because it will change everything. All right, so I'm taking my wire all the way through there, and then I'm going to make sure that I have one wire on each side of a ring. Yeah, see, with the, if you get you one of them needles and you won't struggle, don't pull your sign too tight, because you don't want to smash it and you don't want it to look like it's indented into your wreath. You want it to sit on top of your mesh, nice and pretty. Don't want to smash all that hard work that you just did making that wreath. I just like to even out my wires before I put them on here. And I'm going to move my ribbons out of the way, because those ribbons, I don't want them tucked up underneath. I want them to sit out nice and pretty and show them off. Don't want to hide them. Whoops, I just dropped my needle. At least it didn't land in the trash can like last time. Good thing I looked for it before I took the trash out, because I would have been crying if I'd lost that thing. They do make it so much easier. I see people that struggle with their wires, and I just want to reach through the screen and hand them a needle and say, try it, you'll love it. Because it can be frustrating when you're trying to get that thing on there and you can't get those wires to go through, I'm telling you. And then if they get snagged on your mesh, oh lordy. Oh, you lost yours on Saturday, did you get it back? You always got to check that stuff. It's like you got to do that check, you know, when at the end of your live, make sure that, that's why I have that little round thing that I put all my supplies in, and I can check it and make sure I have everything. That's how I knew my needle was missing, because it wasn't on the piece of cardboard that I have it attached to. So I had to go hunting for it. When I couldn't find it, the only thing left was the trash, and sure enough, it was in the bottom of that trash can, just sitting there. It's so, you know, it's heavy, so it weighted, you know, weighted down to the bottom of the trash can, and had to dig that thing out. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot of trash in the can at the time. Not that, you know, there's anything disgusting in the trash can up here, but yeah, I have the tomato too for my pins. Oh, do you remember these, you guys? This one is probably maybe not as old as me. You know, I had that little strawberry that was attached to it. Mine doesn't have it anymore. Actually, I think this belongs to my mom, not me. I think I took it out of her sewing kit because I didn't have one. But yeah, I don't stick it in that because I keep that in a drawer and my needle is too long for that. I'm sorry, I'm going back and reading some of your comments that I know I can't see. But yeah, these needles are a lifesaver. My daughter says I promote those more than anything else on my lives. Oh, thank you, Nora. You're so sweet. She said I promote that thing. She calls it that. I won't tell you what she calls the needle, but she said I talk about that thing more than anything. But I like it, you know. Oops, I don't know why I did that. I flipped it over. It just, hey, whatever makes things easier, especially with my hands. And you all do not want to sit here and watch me struggle with putting on a sign. Who wants to sit and watch that? So whatever I can do to make it quick and easy, I will do. It is if you've got, oh yes, and I have, my carpal tunnel is really bad. So it just, you know, it's all I can do most days. But you know what, when it's like this all the time, there's nothing you can do but work through it anyway. So if I got to work through it, I'm going to make it easy for me to work through it. All right, so when you put your bow on, here's another tip for you. Don't put it, if you can, don't put it right here where your tie is, okay? You put it where the tie is and you pull down on it, it's going to sink down into that. You want to put it right here where your mesh is, okay? And it's going to sit nice and pretty up on top of your mesh. And I want to make sure I hit in between a ring on the frame so that I can tie this off. There it goes. So when you put your bow on, don't pull. Look, watch when I do this. When I pull down, see how that sinks down? Don't do that. Just let it set on there, okay? Just make sure it's in place where you want it. And if it's sitting on top of that mesh, it's going to sit up nice and pretty. But when you tie it off, don't tie it too tight. And then tie your wires off onto your frame. So I'm going to get that as tight as I can without it pulling down. When I see it start pulling down, that's when I'm going to let go. And twist it a couple of times, and I will, whoop, did you see me do that? I will go back and cut off all my wires and that after. But, because if I want to move this bow, I'm going to do it before I cut that. So see how that sits on there? And this bow is a 3-2-1. It's actually a 3-2-1-1 because I did this one in the middle. But it means I did 3 loops on each side. Then I did 2 loops, and then I did 1 loop. 3-2-1. Then I put the one in the center. Okay. So now, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in these little flowers because these match the sign. There's little flowers on the sign if you can see them. Right here and right here. I guess they're little daisies. I don't know. They don't ever tell you what they are. That's aggravating. I want them to tell me what they are. Alright, so I got to peel the label off because I didn't do that. Thank you for all the hearts. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We are almost done. Then y'all can go get your dinner going, or, well, if you're on my time zone, get your dinner going. If you're on the East or West Coast, you're probably just having lunch. Jamie, I do not put a backing on my wreaths, and the reason for that is, one, I make sure that they're nice and cleaned up. You know, all my wires are hidden, so you won't see it. And two, when I put my wreaths, sorry, this sticky tape does not want to come off. When I put my box, I zip tie them down, and it makes it harder to zip tie them down when they have a back on them. For me, other people use it, and that's fine. They like using them. That's good. But see, these wires, you won't see these when I'm done. All you're gonna see is this. So it's nice and clean. I try to blend in my ties with the material so that you don't see it sticking out. If you have to put it on the back of a glass door, it's not gonna be, unpleasant to look at. So that's why I don't put anything on the backs of mine. But that's not to say you couldn't. If you want to, you can, of course. Not like you need my permission. I sound like I'm giving you permission. You don't need my permission. You do what you want. Alright, so I'm going to take these and I'm going to push my green leaves up. Make sure I'm in camera here so you guys can see. Chicken and dumplings, Susan. Where's my invite? Oops. Bent that one. So I'm just pushing the leaves up on it. Whoop. I keep doing that. Alright, and I'm going to cut these off. My glue gun should be ready in just a second. These do not have to be long because they're going to stick in that mesh, but I'm cutting them at different lengths. And I'm going to do them in bunches, like 3 to a bunch, and I'm going to do 3 bunches. So that's 9 flowers, which is good because I have 10 on here. And these flowers came from AC Moore, which is now closed. Sorry if I'm missing any comments. Oh, give baby a kiss for me. I miss him. I miss all my babies. Can't see my grandkids because they don't live with us. They live near us, but not with us. So during this, he's only 2 months old, so, you know, got to protect him. And my other grandkids live 2 hours away in South Carolina. And I was supposed to have them this week, but because of all this, we're doing our social distancing. I'm being a good grandma, even though I don't like it. I'm doing it. Alright, so I'm going to put these together. What did I do with my floral tape? Forgot to get this out. So what I'm doing is I'm taking 3 of them, putting them together, and I'm putting them out so that they don't smash each other. And then I'm going to put floral tape around the bottom of them to keep them together. If I can find where, there it is, the end is. And I'm doing this while I'm waiting for my glue gun to heat up because it doesn't stay on the whole time I'm live, so I have to keep turning it back on. It's one of them auto shut off ones. So I'm just using a little bit of tape, and I'm not putting it down at the end because if I did that, the glue would make it break off. And this is just floral tape. You can get it in the floral section of the craft store. I do. I miss them so much. It's hard. It is. Especially with the baby, you know. He's only 2 months old. I'm used to seeing him, you know, most of the week, you know, most weekends. Because he lives closer than the other kids do. They stopped by to pick some stuff up on Saturday, but I didn't get to see him because I was doing my live stuff. But they had to pick it up and go, you know, because can't visit right now. So I will definitely be glad when this is over. Alright, so I'm going to put a bunch there. I'm going to put a bunch here and a bunch over here on this side. Oh, sorry, you can't see that, can you? Go this way. So I'm putting a bunch here. I'm going to put a bunch here and put a bunch here. That'll give me my 3. I like to work in 3s. Trying to see, I cut this one a little short. Yeah, there we go. So when I put them together, because I want to get my stems so I can put that tape on there. I'm just bending them at the head a little, bending them outward so they don't all stick together. You don't want them to smush, there's that technical term again, smush each other. So I hope these videos have helped y'all pass the time this week. I really do appreciate you all joining me, keeping me company, taking our minds off of all this virus stuff. It is very hard when you have a new grandbaby. Yeah, send me some pictures. Oh, I meant to ask you about that cereal, Josh. I'll text you after I'm done. Oh, I'm just cutting these down a little more because I don't need them that long. It wasn't smart doing that all together because that didn't help my hand, but so I'll put this in here, and all I'm going to do, and I will show you one of them, you know, let me get this last one together really quick here. I like this one better, but I need to put it on the longer stem. So I'm just going to swap the heads on these two. Because I need that longer stem, and that flower was not as pretty. There we go. Pull the heads out. There. Now they'll sit nice. And I will glue one in, and then I will let you all go, and then I'll glue the rest in afterwards. So see, I'm putting that tape up towards the middle because if I want to put glue on that to glue it into the wreath, I don't want the glue on that tape because it could melt it and make it break. I want it to keep these three together. And I can put the glue down here instead of on where the tape is. Makes sense? There's always a method to my madness. All right. You get this back over here in frame. And that one's going to sit right there. And those are going right in where the ties are, so you're not going to see any stems or anything like that. Alright, let me show you how I glue these in. So I'm just going to take that right there. Usually if I had my glue pot on, I would use that and just dip it in there. But I'm just going to use my glue gun for this since there's only 3 of them. Oh, I guess I need a glue stick. There it goes. So I'm just going to put the glue on the end. I'm sorry if you can't see that. Trying to get it so it doesn't drip on my mat. There it goes. So I just put that glue on the end, and I'm going to open up the tie and go right in between the 2 ties and glue that in there. And it sticks really good to mesh. And I use Gorilla Glue, and that does not come off. At least I have never had an issue with it, and I've sent some of my wreaths to very warm climates. I'm going to pull my tubing up out from underneath my sign. So there we go. Let's see. Can y'all see that now? Gotta go this way. It's always opposite. I forget that part. It's opposite when you're using the camera. So I'm going to do another one here. I'm going to put glue on the ends. Just a little glob on all the way around. And then go in between your ties. Make sure your ribbons are where you want them, because you won't be able to move them after. Put this right down in here. Probably could have cut that down a little bit more. You know what? I think I'm going to. Take two. I cut this off just a little bit. There's too much there. Nice thing about it is if you do it quickly, you can take that glue off and start again. All right, now we'll go down in there. That's better. Now it sits prettier. I said I was only going to do one, but now I only got one left, so I might as well do it, right? All right, so this one's already a little too long. All right. Let me get this one moved in the right position, and we're going to go right down in there. And that is it. And if you wanted to, you could add a flower to your bow. Totally up to you. There's our wreath. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for spreading the love and sharing my video. Come back tomorrow for day 7 of my 7 days of lives. Let me move my camera so y'all can see who you're talking to. Hello. So come back tomorrow for my day 7 of my 7 days of lives. Then Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, we meet for my regular live. So I still got 2 more days to go this week. So, but thank you all so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great night. Stay home, be safe, and hopefully this will all be over very soon. Have a good night, guys. Enjoy your dinner, too. Bye.